lovely song, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Hello everybody and welcome to Penny and Penny's Sticky Moments. We've changed the name because there are so many sites called Beer on a Champagne Budget, or Champagne on a Beer Budget, darling, isn't it?
Yes.
So we've changed it.
So everybody was trying to look for us, which is nice.
I know. Of course there was the legal thing too, you know, with the police looking for us and
Yeah.
thing, but that's all right now, we've fixed that.
Jolly good.
Mm.
So Peggy, darling.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What are we going to make today for these lovely people?
Well, even if they're not lovely, we're going to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make pork in plum sauce, darling.
Oh, pork in
Yes.
plum. Oh, I love a bit of porking.
I know you do. I know
I'm pork.
She loves some pork. She does love some pork.
Put some pork on your fork.
Right, but of course, today we're going to use pork chops.
Are we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I said last week, you know, when we did your shepherd's pie, which was lovely, darling.
Yes, I know.
That we were going to do pork chops, and we are. But we're going to do them.
By the way, darling.
Yes?
Our Auntie Jean in England, all the way over across the other side of the world, she made a lovely shepherd's pie.
Oh, she did, didn't
She copied our recipe to the letter.
Well done, Auntie Jean. You're so good.
Yes.
And you know, it was nice of the prison guards to let her to watch, wasn't it?
Yes, lovely.
Well done. And of course, it's very difficult for our Auntie Jean to cook because she has that coat, you know, that makes your arms go like that. And
Yes.
I don't know what they call it, but she's not in it all the time.
No.
No. Bless her. Thank you very much. We love you. Before we start, darling, we have a fan.
Do we?
Yes. And her name is Jan Jeffries.
Jan Jeffries. Oh, I know that.
She's a lovely lady. She's got a daughter called Donna. Hello, Donna. Hello, Jan Jeffries.
Yes, hello, Jan Jeffries. We love you, darling.
We love you, dear. And we hope that you're well and happy, of course. And of course, a lot of healing goes on in here, darling, and up here. That's all you need.
Yes, that's all you need.
With a little bit of help from upstairs, of course. But
Yes, God bless him.
thank you for watching, Jan. You're a lovely lady. Clearly something's wrong with you, but you are wonderful. But off we go, darling.
Yes.
Cooking. I must do cooking.
Proceed.
Now look, today I'm going to use a few ingredients, but they're all cheap to buy and very easy to get. We've got sweet chilli sauce.
Oh, I love sweet chilli sauce. It's a little bit bitey, but a little bit sweet.
You can use real chilies if you want to, but I chose that because it was in my cupboard.
So good.
A little bit of ginger. You can also use the real thing if you want to, and I would have thought about a tablespoon of ginger would be the way to go.
Yeah, it's up to you, darling. It's your recipe.
Of course, garlic's got to have garlic, hasn't it, darling?
Yeah, everything we cook has got garlic in it.
Yes,
darling.
even our whipped cream.
It's got garlic in it.
Yes, and of course the main ingredient, plum jam. Now you're wondering why this jar looks like it's been run over by a truck. It's because we don't want to get in trouble with advertising, do we, darling?
No, darling.
So that is plum jam. You know it's plum because it's
Red.
Thank you, darling.
Or mauvey.
And we've also got some vegetables here that we're going to chop up. Some onions, some mange tout, or snow peas as they're called.
Mange tout?
Yes, in Europe they're called mange tout, darling.
Are they? Bloody Europeans. They
I know.
always have to complicate things, don't they?
Of course, we in England they call them mange tout. So obviously that is what they're called. And we have some red capsicum or red peppers, as they call them around the world.
No, I think my husband calls them something like that.
Peppers, you'll call them peppers, darling.
No, they're, what does she call them?
She.
I can't remember. No, he.
Yes.
I can't remember what he calls them now.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Dill peppers or something silly like
Bell
that.
pepper.
Bell pepper. That's
Bell pepper.
correct. Oh yes.
The man's a fool. The man's a fool.
No, you see, my husband, he's from the Philippines, and he calls them bell peppers.
Yes, we established, didn't we? Because we Fu Manchu and an Oompa Loompa.
No, darling. His name is Wo Hung Lung.
Yes, I know, but you said he was like Fu Manchu and an Oompa Loompa because he was short.
Yes, darling. But, you know, that's
But it's
fine.
the orange skin and the blue hair.
Yes, that's what does it.
He's a lovely fellow.
Yeah.
Lovely fellow. Good mechanic. Off we go. So, what should we do first, darling? Make the sauce.
Make the sauce, yes.
She's so clever.
Yeah, make the sauce. It'd be lovely if you...
For that, we need to go over to the stove, don't we?
Oh, yes.
Hello, darlings. We're back at the stove, and the gorgeous Penny is filming for us. So,
Oh, yes, I am.
which is normally a disaster, but not as bad as when I do it. I have to say, our cameraman isn't here anymore. Penny touched him, so we're having to get another one.
No, I didn't.
Some sort of youth scheme, I think. Okay, now I've got about a tablespoon of oil in there, which is 2 teaspoons. We're going to make the sauce. Here we go.
It's the plum sauce, darling.
Lovely teaspoon of garlic. A healthy teaspoon. Not a lot of sizzling going on, but that's all right.
Well, you've only got the gas at halfway, darling.
Oh, there we go. We'll just wait for the garlic to bubble a bit, because I want all the flavours to come into the oil. Because the oil will spread it around for us. We do all the work for us, darlings. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
Oh, got a bit of sweat in my eye there. It's very hot in here, isn't it?
Yes.
Here we
Because
go.
we've got new lights, darling.
And I've got well over a teaspoon of ginger in there. Now you can use fresh ginger if you'd like. But this stuff is equally as good. Here we go. Got the ginger and garlic sizzling well. Let's just knock it back so we don't burst my boots.
You're what, darling?
I'm using a whisk, darling.
A whisk?
Yes. Because you'll understand why in a moment. Now,
That's sizzling away in there.
yes, here comes the thing, the plum jam, darling. Now I know they're all going, oh, plum jam, it'll be too sweet, it'll be too sweet. Trust me, it'll be superb.
Oh, yes, I trust you, darling. Thousands wouldn't.
Rather a big pop there, wasn't there?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put, I've only got 2 chops, so I'm not going to make too much sauce. But I think we've got a cup of jam in there. And for those Americans who don't have jam, I guess you can call it jelly or whatever you want to call it.
Bloody Americans.
Bless them.
Yes.
Anyway, here we go. There's enough oil in there that the Americans will want to invade it. But that's all right. Do you know what? I think I'll go another half a cup. No, we're fine. And I'm using the whisk because we need to break it up. We don't want it to spend too much time in the pan because it'll burn and turn into toffee. And we don't want toffee. We don't. We really
No.
don't. We just
Even
want,
though we are rather toffee.
we want to... Sorry, I was concentrating. We want the jam just to melt, all right?
Okay.
We don't want it to cook. We're not cooking the jam, we're just melting it.
Melting it.
Melting it, innit?
Melting it.
Lovely. Oh,
Oh,
plum,
it's lovely.
plum jam does have such a lovely flavour, doesn't it? Such a lovely
Oh, I
smell.
love it. I love it. I love it on a piece of toast normally, darling. I wouldn't think for 1 minute to add it to my cooking. But there you go. Cooking is such a wonderful thing, isn't it, darling?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, you can just, throw caution to the wind.
Yes, and you do have a lot of wind, darling.
Yes, I know.
And it is always a caution when you have it.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry about my unfortunate noises.
No, fortunately, it never happens on camera.
Yeah, lovely. Oh,
So there we go. Look, just have a look in there for me.
yes,
Show
I
the
will.
viewers. Now, see, that's just melted, isn't it?
Oh, it's melty.
So I'm going to turn that down now.
Oh, jolly good then.
Because I don't want it to burn. Because what will happen if it gets too hot, darling?
It'll caramelise.
Yes, it will turn into toffee, and we don't
Yes.
want that.
Is that the right word, darling? Caramelise?
Well, as chefs, we call it crack, dear, but it's an
I
unfortunate
beg your
word.
pardon.
Well, there's soft crack, medium crack, and hard crack. And for
I
all
think you should
uh,
stop, darling, right there.
No, it's good words. They're proper words. And for all those people out there that cook crack, they will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Darling,
Yes?
I think you might need to adjust your boobies.
Which one, darling?
Oh, both, really.
Oh, I say, what's that?
Oh, that's much better. Much more perky.
Okay, let's turn that off.
Lovely.
Oh, off, darling, off.
No, the other way. That's it. Jolly good.
Okay, now, at
Gas
this,
us all to death.
at this stage, it's lovely and melted, okay?
Yes.
It's made of sauce. It's made of sauce.
It's melted.
Can you see that, my little friends?
Yes, it's melted.
Now this is the important part.
Yes, what?
This is where we add the chilli.
Oh, lovely.
Now if ooh, I can smell gas. You sure I've turned that up?
No, you haven't turned that off.
I've gassed us all. Fortunately, my editing skills, darling. I'm going to use sweet chili sauce. Can you see that, darling? Sweet chili sauce.
Yes.
Do you know, they're so good in Australia. They tell you exactly what's on the tin, which is handy, isn't it? We've got the plum sauce just melted. I've melted the plum jam. As I said before, I don't want it to cook too much because it will turn into crack. And we've been down that road and we shan't go down it again.
No, that's not.
Right, we're at the point now where we need to add the chilli. And I don't want it too hot because I need to taste it, because it's very important that you don't make it too sweet. You don't want it too sweet.
Look, darling, I don't think that sweet chili sauce from that place where you got it from is going to be anywhere near anything that is hot.
It is very hot.
Is it? Oh.
Right.
I'm surprised.
I've put a tablespoon in there to start.
Yes. So would you like to taste it, darling?
When I said I didn't want it hot, I didn't mean spicy hot, darling. I meant I don't want to stick my finger in hot jam because it will stick to my finger.
Well, don't stick your finger in anywhere, darling.
I shan't.
Use a bloody teaspoon.
But darling, I don't want to put it in my mouth either. You know what I mean? You know, stupid bitch.
Okay.
Anyway, here we go. Quick
Don't
taste.
be like that.
We must taste as we go.
Yes. Just don't put it in again, darling.
What am I looking for, I hear you cry? What is going on in my mouth? A fine story, I can tell you. We should put a little bit more chilli in there. I want it to be little plummy flavour, but I also want a nice little burn. You know, we've got to have a little burn, haven't we?
Oh, yes. Shall I put the toilet roll in the freezer now?
No, I don't think it'd be necessary. I don't want it that hot.
Oh, okay.
Or that spicy, okay? So we don't go down that road again.
Okay.
So that's two tablespoons of sweet chilli I've put in there. And
Lovely.
I'm going to taste it because it's lovely. Got a lovely fresh taste.
Are you using a fresh spoon, darling? Yeah,
Well,
of course you are.
Of course I am. It's very hot, darling. It's very nice.
Very well. Leave it as it is then.
No, 3 tablespoons of sweet chilli sauce.
Okay then.
If you're using
That's more like a dollop.
yes, well, you know, we have to go for measurements. People love measurements.
Yes, I don't, darling. I just say 2 dollops.
That's why I'm cooking it and you're not.
Oh, darling. Oh, you were being sarcastic then.
That was. Here we go.
Oh, lovely. Here she goes again. Can't help herself.
That's perfect.
3 dollops then.
And just to make sure that it's not overly sweet, I'm going to add a tablespoon of white vinegar.
White vinegar?
Yes, because we don't want it too sweet.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's more than a tablespoon, darling.
It's not.
Isn't
I'm
it?
very good.
No, okay. Right you are then.
The thing is, because it's going on our pork chops, and it'd be nothing worse than a lovely pork chop and then this overpoweringly sweet sauce. I mean, you might...
Oh, absolutely, darling. It'll be ghastly.
Indeed, I mean, you might as well have just dipped the pork chop in some honey and then fried it, which would be nice, but not what we're after.
No,
I'm going to
not
taste
at
it.
the moment. Again.
And I'm after a sort of sweet...
You're very greedy.
A sort of sweet and soury taste with that lovely freshness of chilli and ginger.
Yeah, just get on with it, darling.
And I've reached that point.
Have you?
Do you know, I'm extremely moist.
No.
I am.
Really?
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Lovely.
So let's go over it.
Actually, I'm a little bit moist myself.
I know, darling. It's we'll mop.
I'll stop. We're going to stop.
Going to do some chopping. Oh, thank you. Lovely.
So anyway, we made the sauce, or rather, Peggy has made the sauce, and it's very saucy.
It is saucy. We had a little mop, didn't we, darling?
Had a little mop.
And we were talking about Auntie Jean earlier on, didn't we? But we forgot to mention Brian, didn't we?
Oh yes, Brian.
He's a lovely chap. Used to be in the Navy, you know.
Did he?
Yes, I think that's why he walks funny.
Yeah, yes, that's probably
Never mind.
right.
He's a lovely chap.
Yes, we love him.
Anyway, we also love cooking, and that's what we're doing now. We're getting ready because with the sauce, darling,
Yes.
I'm going to put some vegetables in it, so that when it goes on top of the chops, it will there'll be a nice bright colours and garnish. You know,
Very lovely jubbly.
and of course they're lovely as well. But anyway, let's get on. I've got
Yes.
a whole onion here.
A whole one.
It's not necessary. I don't need a whole one. I'm going to use half, and I'm going to roughly chop it from tail to top.
Well, roughly chop it.
Yes, because I want straight lines, not rings. You see?
Yes, I understand.
So off I go.
Oh, yes.
Now I'm going to use semicircles, of course, but if you want to do dice, you can.
Yes.
But sort of a Chinese thing, you know, they like dice.
Yes.
And the same with the pepper, darling. I'm going to use just
The bell pepper,
one side,
as my husband calls it.
one side of the pepper, because I think that'll be plenty for what we've got.
Oh, yes, lovely. Have we got 2 chops or have we got
No,
4?
we've got 4,
Yeah.
but I'm going to just take out the little pips, because they go very bitter. Very
Yes, bitter.
And I'm going to see that. I'm going to slice them along there too, not too thick.
Not
Just
too thin.
take my time because I don't want skin in the food either. But I want them to be quite large because I want I want it to look.
Yes, I've heard, darling.
I want it to look nice and chunky on the chops.
Chunky.
Now the mange too, darling. The snow peas. Here we are, the blessed little snow pea.
Mange too. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
You have to think it's like a little smile, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
They need to be topped and tailed, which means you need to take off this horrible little thing here. And
Why is
again,
it horrible, darling?
well, it's brown and nasty, you know.
No, okay. Well, I don't like brown.
And instead of slicing them, I'm going to just cut those diagonally from left to right, like that. Do you
Yeah.
see? Do you see?
No, you slice it apart.
Like that?
Of course I can see.
Yeah,
I'm
but
looking at
But
it.
you're not there, are you? You're here.
Oh, yes. Hang on.
Bless her.
Yes.
She's not well today. Anyway, we're going to. I'm going to do a few of those, so you can watch
Ooh.
diagonally. You see, diagonally.
Diagonally.
And it's all about presentation, not so much about ingredients.
But we can do both, can't we, darling?
Well, you need ingredients, but I'm cutting it in such a way so that it's interesting, not that, so that everything isn't the same.
Interesting.
And as I said, I think I'm going to do about 5. I'm going to do 5
5?
so that there's equal quantities of onions, peppers, and snow peas. If you don't want to use peas, you can use green peppers too, or green capsicums, depending on where you are. But that's always a good colour selection: white, red, and green. That's our chefs. You know, our chefs. We like to.
Isn't that the Italian flag, darling?
Oh God, no! I really don't know. I thought the Italian flag was this is lasagna, isn't it, with a bee on it or something?
Yeah, it's all right.
Anyway,
Carry on.
right. There we are. So let's have a look.
Hello. Lovely.
That'll be plenty for.
Oh, yes.
Because it's although it's going in the sauce, it is just a garnish.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But
Quite right.
but I think it would look so much better. And
But it looks better already, darling.
And if you want to make, if you want to impress the person with your cookery skills, even though they're simple, that will do it. Because when you're cooking, you should always think about white, red, and green with your colour selections, and you'll know the perfect garnish. If your dish is red, you need to garnish it with white and green. If it's green, you need to garnish it with the red and white, and thus. It's easy, but it does work.
Yeah.
It's a little secret.
What
It's a
about
secret.
blue, though, darling?
If it's blue, darling, it probably needs whipped cream and a mint leaf.
Good, darling.
If you're cooking blue food, by the way, I think you need to stop and put the washing up liquid away and stop using it as a condiment.
Yes.
It may
Right.
go frothy, but it is not a good sauce. Anyway, let's go to the stove and we'll show you what we're going to do next, because Penny is going to cook the chops, and she's barely capable, but she will. She will cook them.
Yeah, thank you.
There we go. There she is. Now,
Yeah, hello, darlings. I'm about to cook the chops now. We should do them. I can't remember what my husband said. I think it's 3 minutes per side. Is that right, dear?
6 minutes per side, my darling. Let's not talk to him. He's a fun. Before you start, darling,
Yes.
I would like to say to the people at home. Now, I've just splashed a bit of soy sauce over those,
Oh, lovely.
just to give them that lovely oriental flavour. And we've got the pan very hot.
Oh, it's extremely hot.
And we do that because if you put meat into a cold pan, it boils and goes tough, darling.
Yes, does it?
It does.
Yes.
Here we go. Oh,
Oh, sizzling.
sizzly, sizzly.
Now, darlings, you can use a normal frying pan for this, but we happen to have a beautiful cast iron skillet.
But we're posh, aren't we, darling?
Oh, very posh. They're very posh, darling. Oh my God, that's
Right. Just the water in the soy sauce, darling.
yes, I know. Oh my God, that's going mental. Should I pour some of this over the top?
No, don't do that because it'll make them too salty and we'll get that horrible cross between sweet and savoury. Do you remember we were talking about that?
Oh yes, I remember, but I fell asleep.
Oh, yes. But anyway, darlings, we're going to put the fan on, that's it. Don't play with them though, should we not, darling? We don't want to poke them too much because all the moisture comes out, doesn't it? And,
Yes.
but we can
Getting them organised.
keep them separated. Very
Yes.
wise, darling, very wise.
I tell you what, these pork chops are lovely. They come from the local Asian grocer.
Oh, not him again.
Oh, he's lovely.
Have you got shares in that shop or something, darling?
Yes, I think we live there most of the time.
Oh,
But their meat is very good. Very good quality.
Tis.
Look at that.
you should go local, shouldn't you, darling?
Yes, you should.
Do you know, it's funny, in modern society, we're so caught up with supermarkets and things, but really we should go back to having a greengrocer and a butcher and all those things, shouldn't we?
And a candle maker.
Yes. Well, you go through a lot of candles, don't you, darling?
Oh, yes, I do,
Especially
darling.
those large, thick ones.
No, it's because we have a lot of birthdays in our family, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is, darling.
Yes.
Right. We're back.
Oh, yes, we're back.
We've done 3 minutes on one side, we're going to do 3 on the other, darling.
Yes,
Turn them
I'm
over.
just going to turn them over. All you do is use a pair of tongs. Look
Oh,
at that.
they are lovely, darling.
Oh, they're lovely.
You can do them on the barbecue too, darling, couldn't you?
Oh, yes.
But don't do them in the oven, they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
You don't want to dry them out.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Lovely.
Lovely.
We'll see you back in 3 minutes 3 minutes later.
Yes, 3 minutes later.
Oh, we can stand for 3 minutes, can't we, darling?
Yes, yes.
If I can stand, you can stand. Don't poke them, darling.
I'm sorry, I love a bit of a
We're not teasing each other. You really mustn't play with meat too much because it lets all the moisture out. You know, sometimes you see your mother or father up at the barbecue and they're pokey, pokey, pokey.
Pokey, pokey, pokey.
And all the bloody liquid comes out and they're just dry and revolting.
Yes. Ghastly.
There is a scientific way of explaining it, but I'm not going to do it, darling. I'm not going to do it.
No, I wish you wouldn't because I'll fall asleep again.
But we don't want to cook them too long because we're going to cook them again with the garnish and the sauce, darling.
Yes, yes, of
So it's
course.
very important that we don't go over the top.
No. Quite right.
Hello, darlings. We're back. We've done our chops are cooked. We've done them 3.5 minutes each side.
You're lovely, darling.
And I've given them a little. Come over here. Look. I've given them a little poke with my finger,
Oh, you do like poking.
and they're nice and firm, so that means that they're cooked. All right.
Oh, I like it firm, darling.
Here we go now.
Oh, I'm getting wet.
Now here comes the bit where we add all the things that we've cooked today together. So if you look over here, I'm going to just leave the chops because I want them to be hot. I'm just moving them over out of the way.
It's like a sort of barbecue on your stovetop.
Indeed.
This particular little... I think every man who's living on his own should buy one of these.
What?
Because it makes cooking the steaks and cooking everything so much easier.
Indeed. I do agree.
Sizzling and...
Right. So here we go. Now, we chopped up some vegetables earlier on. Here they are. The onions and the peppers or capsicums and some green beans. But as I said, you can also use spring onions or you can use green peppers. But I used mange tout or snow peas because I like them. And I do like saying mange tout. It reminds me...
Yes, I often thought, why are you saying mange
Well, it's a
tout
little
so
bit
often?
like menage a trois, isn't it, darling?
Oh, is it?
Yes,
really?
but,
Really?
I mean, sex is bad enough without it being so busy with lots of people and decisions to make. Anyway, here we go. So onions first, into the pan with the pork. We've got those lovely flavours in there from the pork. We don't need to add any flavours. Lovely.
Lovely.
Let's get them in. And I don't want to overcook them. I just want them to heat up a little bit. We're not going to brown them and we're not going to make them go clear. Because we want some crunch. Got to have some
yes,
crunch.
got to have
Lovely bit of crunch.
I love a bit of crunch.
We like a bit of crunch. So we're going for the crunch. Some people can't handle the crunch, but we can.
Oh, I can.
Right, so that's plenty. And we've got our red peppers. We're going to mix with the onions. And you know, we'll put our
Bell peppers, darling.
mange tous
A mange.
in there as well.
Mange.
You can cook these in a separate frying pan if you want to. You haven't got a great big pan like we have. But we're very posh, aren't we, darling?
No, we're totally posh.
So, as you can see, I'm stir-frying those together. I don't want to overdo it, but they need to be hot. We don't want cold veggies.
No, no, darling.
One thing they said
That won't do
about
at all.
is our veggies are not cold.
No.
They do look lovely, don't they, darling?
Oh, they look absolutely lovely.
They're coming along. We don't want to boil the crap out of them and make them grey. That would be pointless of having 3 different colours.
Absolutely.
Right, here we go. Look, they're still crunchy, but they've heated up. Let's move this out of the way. Here comes
Yes.
our plum sauce, darling.
Oh, here it comes.
Our plum sauce we made later. Do you remember?
Earlier.
We put, beg your pardon, earlier. Everything's upside down for me, darling.
Yeah, upside down and sideways.
So we've got our chilli in there and our plum and ginger and garlic. And here we go. Look, I'm not going to put it all in, but I'm going to put enough because I think it's enough for those 4 chops. Look at that sizzling. We just want to heat it up. Remember, we don't want it to turn into toffee. Get all our vegetables involved.
Oh, that looks absolutely stunning, darling.
Right, over to the bench, darling. Over to the bench. So here we are. I've moved to the bench. Have a look down, darling. Have a look at what I've done. Now, I've got those vegetables nicely combined, and I've heated the sauce so that it's not... We don't want it cold, darling.
No.
And we know that it's not cold because it'll be extremely thick. Here we go. I'm going to put all 4 chops on one plate just so you can see how lovely it looks.
Oh, lovely, darling. It really does look lovely.
I know. There we go. Oh, a little bit more space would have been nice. And here we go. Get a spoon.
Slotted.
I mean, well, you don't have to, but I thought... There, look at that.
Looks absolutely lovely.
You can put some bean sprouts in there if you wanted to.
There, yes, if you want to be pretentious.
Or some sliced cabbage. You know, especially if times are hard. Let's get some more sauce on there because it is pork in plum sauce at the end of the day, not plum sauce in pork.
Yes, quite right.
I'm going to really...
Oh, lap it on there, darling.
I'm going to pick up the pan and pour some on with some pork juices too. There you have it, my darling. Pork chops in plum sauce. And I think 1 chop or 2 chops per person and some rice would be nice.
Oh, lovely.
Look at me now. Here we go. So thank you so much. We're going to go to the tasty, tasty bit now, which is our favourite part because we get to drink more beer and we get to stop and have a little lay down and mop the floor. Thank you, my darlings.
Oh, yes, thank you so much.
Well, there we go, darlings. Sorry if it's a little bit fast for you, but you can watch the video over and over, which is a joy, I must say. And,
No, it is for me, darling. It is for me, darling.
It is for me. I do enjoy it. And again, Jan Jeffries, thank you for watching. You're a very clever lady.
Yeah, lovely. We love you so much.
She must have superb taste, is all I can say.
Yeah, well, of course.
Oh,
And she must be terribly posh.
I think she is. I've met her daughter. She's very short, but extremely
Very
posh.
posh.
Very posh.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. So here we go. I think one chop for you, my dear.
Yes.
Let me get you some of the garnish.
Greenery, yes.
So that people can see what it looks
Ooh,
like.
look, you're dropping it all over the place.
I know, but do you know I did it so you didn't get stuff on your foot? Let's put some of the sauce on.
Lovely. Oh, let's cut into this.
There you are, my dear. See that? It has its own garnish, don't
I
you
can't
think?
wait. By the way, the local shop they do have the pork chops without the skin on the side.
Oh, you've got to have the skin. It'd be awfully dry.
No, it's lovely without too. I'm going to try with a little bit of veggie. There we go.
She doesn't give up. Go on, darling.
I'm going to put it in my gob.
Ah. Verdict.
Superb.
I know. I'm going to taste it myself, dears. Don't worry. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm going to be a little bit more diplomatic. Dip it in the sauce. You know. Yes, got the sauce right.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So, oh dear, it's very nice. Remember, we said to you, when you're making the plum sauce, keep tasting because you don't want it too sweet. If it's too sweet, add a little bit of vinegar just to bring it up into a more sort of spicy, sweetish taste, you know? It's like sweet and sour if you've had that before, but don't overdo it on the vinegar.
One thing I like, darling, excuse me, I'm just eating, is that the snow peas are very crunchy.
Yes, I think it's important. It's pointless having all those lovely colours and then cooking the raving shit out of them because they just go grey.
Oh, absolutely.
You know-
Grey is no good.
You know, you don't have to boil them away, and I think people nowadays are becoming round to the more crispier vegetables. You know.
I'm so excited. I want to give my boobs a squeeze. Will you join me, darling?
Yes. Okay. Where does that noise come from?
I don't know.
It doesn't work all the time because we're
No.
not.
Hello, someone's coming aboard.
Indeed.
Again. Anyway, darlings, it's lovely that you joined us again. And we'd just like to say that next week... What are we doing next week? I think I might do
garlic
prawns.
Garlic
Yes,
prawns.
I'm going to do my garlic prawns.
We've had a request, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Mrs. Alex. She said
Yes.
garlic prawns, didn't she?
Oh, yes. Mrs. Alex would like some garlic prawns. So we're going to make her some garlic prawns. She's very pushy.
She's very pushy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to do it, but her husband was. He cried so heavily.
Did he?
He did. And
He
you know,
sobbed.
he's quite a strong chap. But anyway, remember to subscribe and to like. If you want to have a little chat with us and tell us something or make a recipe request, our email address is pennyandpeg@gmail.com, isn't it, darling?
Yes, it is.
And of course, the
It's very
recipe, darling, will be in the description. But as people have said, there's no method, and that's because, you naughty people, you have to watch the video. If we wanted to just put recipes online, we would have done that, wouldn't we?
Oh, yes, we've just gone straight to Google.
Yes, absolutely.
Or
So,
whatever that is.
so enjoy, and remember, we love you.
We love you so much. Tatty bye. Ta-ra.